Teachers of Reddit, what's the funniest excuse for being late, not doing homework, etc. you've ever heard from a student? Cows got out last night and I had to chase them home all night. I knew the kid and the family, so it wasn't a lie. Good kid who was obviously tired. I told him not to worry about missed homework. I had the same kid tell me twice that his dog ate his Chromebook. He said he used his Chromebook as a plate to eat a steak and the dog ate it. My first year teaching, it was 4th grade, and one student informed me that she hadn't done her reading the night before because we had pizza for dinner. It's been 20 years and I'm still confused. My mother was a high school teacher over a decade ago, and once had a student come in halfway through the first class and say he was late because he was escaping from the pigs. She didn't really think much of it, and ignored him. However, he was arrested before school ended. It's one of her favorite stories to tell. Sometimes it's scarier when they don't lie to you. He was practicing an escape trick for the upcoming school talent show, handcuffed himself to a chair and couldn't find the key. Mom freed him, but not fast enough to get him to school on time. His twin brother verified the story, as did the mom. Saw his bit on the talent show, he was great but, wisely, opted not to do that particular trick. Guy comes in over 20 minutes late with a Starbucks cup in one hand and a bag of pastries from the nearby grocery shop in the other. Sorry for being late, Mr. Teacher's name. The bus broke down on the way here. It isn't funny, but it is the one I remember clearest. He said he was too tired. Kiddo was at school till 2, then would go to German lessons from 3 to 4:30. Then had English with me from 5 to 6:30. Then he would have to go to French from 7 to 8:30. He was 8. He was too tired in my class to even sit up. I got to know a lot of bad parenting styles as a teacher. I teach elementary, and the best are when 8 to 9-year-olds write their own excuse notes for their absences. My favorite has always been, "Dear Mrs. Sorry. I was sick because I ate too much bad shrimp. I won't throw up anymore now. I hope." I was late once cause someone threw my bike in a tree. There was no room in the rack, so I just threaded the lock through the frame and both wheels. Someone must have tried to steal it and then got frustrated when it wouldn't ride and threw it up into a fucking tree. It took me a while to get it down and untangle the bike lock, but luckily I had a photo of it in the tree to show my professor. This was in our last year of high school. A fellow student came an hour late into our double math lesson. It was winter, and said that the light on his bike wasn't working, so he had to wait until the sun came up. Not gonna lie, Mr. G, I got in an argument with ********* in the hall. He wants to fight me at lunch. I don't wanna pussy out, but I'd lose that. Can you come stop him before he starts shit? Sure. 9th graders are wild. Earlier this week, a student told me he was late by a couple minutes because he ran into a door and it took him a few minutes to recover. One time I used the fence at the goat exhibit to fill out an answer on my worksheet and a goat ate it. My teacher couldn't go back to the bus for another, so she excused me from the worksheet for the whole field trip. We had a student that got chased by a pack of wild dogs as he was getting out of his car and making his way to the building. He ended up hiding in a tree for like 2 hours and missing multiple classes. The teachers did not believe him until the school administration looked at the security footage and saw that he did indeed get chased by a pack of wild dogs. I should also add that it was in a suburban area. Not a teacher, but I remember in 7th grade a kid walked in a few minutes late and the teacher asked why. Kid said he was looking for a screwdriver because his belt broke. Teacher said he wasn't buying it and told the kid to sit down. Kid said fine, took 2 steps, then his pants fell to his ankles in front of everyone. It was fucking hilarious and perfectly timed comedically. Sorry I was late, sir. It was the wind, it slowed me down walking to school. He was 30 minutes late. Student gets in late, tells me sorry, I got up late. I ask if he has his homework. No, I told you I got up late. But I gave the assignment last week. Well, I did not have time to do it because I got up late. He's looking at me like I'm a total moron. Please excuse Janet from class today. She is in the hospital having her baby, brought to me by a sibling. Also, please excuse Robbie for yesterday. He was home with the shitons. A classmate wasn't there for a week until third lesson on Friday. His excuse was that he needed a few days of sleep. He said that he slept for 6 days without waking up. It was second grade. Online student emailed that she had evacuated her house due to wildfires, so she, husband, kids, and 2 large dogs were sharing a hotel room. Not asking for special treatment, just apologizing ahead of time for the background noise during the upcoming exam. I told her not to worry about it. In high school, we had a window that could see the street to get into the student parking lot. Once a cop's lights were flashing and very visible. The teacher had said someone must have been driving horrible. 20 minutes later a girl came in late and said she had been pulled over. Had a train crossing on my way to school. Yup, one morning it had blocked both roads that I could get to school. They were unloading to a factory and it took an hour. I was explaining it to the people in the office and they didn't believe a word I said when 20 or so kids from a bus walk in with the same excuse. I'm not a teacher, but I overheard a student in the hall talking to one of my favorite history teachers in the school. She said, "I'm sorry I didn't do my homework, I was busy being Jewish." It was the day after we had off from Rosh Hashanah, and then she said, "Come on, you can't argue with that." The teacher just looks at her and says, "I mean, I really can't argue with that." I'm assuming she got let off the hook. LOL. Not a teacher, but I had a friend, let's call him Jake, who didn't do his homework and used the classic dog at my homework, but tweaked a bit. His neighbor had 2 dogs, Jake went to pet one of them, but the other dog somehow managed to break into his house, climb upstairs and open his bag, and steal the homework from him. It was such a bad excuse, even the teacher was laughing. I had a student take a call in class and followed it up by telling me my grandmother's horse got out and she can't catch it, I have to go help corral it, so can I leave early? Even if it was untrue, the sheer gall got a yes from me. The student sent me an email a few hours later containing a picture which was a selfie of them with the horse, informing me that he had caught it. 40 minutes late to a 60-minute class. What do you say when you're late to class? I'm not late, I just got here. German high school, so sometimes we had gaps in our timetable with 1-2 of free time in between. One time this girl came back from that free time 20 minutes late. She had been going jogging and got lost. Lost his shoe and messaged me whether okay to wear slippers to class, otherwise he would skip school for the day. He's 19. I had a student tell me that he couldn't do his assignment because it was Passover. I said, Passover started at sunset, couldn't you have done it during the day? He said, no, my mom arrived to take me shopping, that's what I meant, I'm sorry that you misunderstood that. Shopping with mom / major religious holidays. Easily confused.